Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk Football NFC South Takeover. I know it's been a couple weeks, but we're glad to be back. How's everybody doing tonight?
Happy and safe.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's terrible weather.
I'm hobbling.
Yeah, how's your leg doing, buddy?
Leg fine. Foot is still broken, but I'm allowed to at least try and walk on it. But
Nice.
If there was a zombie apocalypse right now, I'd be screwed.
That's okay. You know what? There's guns for that, so there's no need to worry. What happened? What did you actually do to break your foot?
Honestly, all it was just me at work taking a plate off of a machine, and I just literally trip under my own feet. And on the way down, my foot literally gets caught just in this weird little 90-degree angle on the platform that I was
oh, no way.
On. Literally the way the big boss described it too after everything, it was just this is a freak fucking accident, wasn't it? I was like, yeah, and I'm very sorry that it happened. They're like, God, don't be sorry, it happens, buddy. Take care.
Well, whatever. Yeah, no, it's good that your boss was good about it too, right? That's important too. So awesome. So I know a lot's been going on, and I am so sorry that we didn't do it last week. It's been a crazy couple weeks for me, but things are finally starting to mellow out. For those of you that don't know, I was in Ottawa. If you know where that is.
Vacation.
City.
Yeah, I decided to milk the rest of my vacation, pretty much drain it for what I had in the year. Just because I only got a part vacation because I didn't start early enough in the year, so I used pretty much all my time, and I decided to go travel across Canada to kind of go see the part of Canada that I really haven't seen much of. So it was a good time. It was good to get out. Saw some football, some disappointing football. So I guess we can talk about that. So unfortunately I didn't see too much with what happened with the Saints. I did see the Bucs ending. We'll talk about that after, I guess. But yeah, I don't know how your guys' games was, but the weather conditions were so bad for Washington and Atlanta. It was gross. Just pouring outside. I don't know. It was nasty. It was nasty. There's a lot of things that went wrong in that game, but I don't know. It's to a point now that I'm kind of seeing that it's repetition now at this point. It's the same mistakes happening over and over and over again. And it's the coach trying to bail them out over and over and over again. And it's okay, don't get me wrong, I'm no football expert by any means. I'm a listener and a viewer just like all of you. But at the same time, if we see it, there's something there to be seen. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, the tears fell down from the sky as they were looking upon the game.
Yeah, it was a day. It was a day. The Falcons came up short. I believe it was 19-13, 6 points. And it was down to the final play once again.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Mariota throws an interception in the end zone. And I'm done. To put it bluntly, I'm done. I don't know at this point why you don't put in your backup quarterback, but kudos to the Washington Commanders. They're on a run, in a very tough division. So I will give them credit where credit's due. Their team is coming together, and it's unbelievable. And I will speak highly of it that, Brian Robinson, after everything that he's went through, getting shot, 3 times in the leg. It's phenomenal to see him ball out like he's been. So honestly, again, that's not my be humble by any means. He's out of our division, but I got to give respect where respect's due. So that's unfortunately, those are my notes. Kyle Pitts was ruled out for the rest of the season, which kind of sucks. But maybe I'm going to look at it on the brighter side that it's going to give some people a little bit more of a time to shine to show that they should be on the team. But that's all I really got.
From what I was looking at, I mean, they completely shut you guys down on the fourth quarter. And seeing that there's, zeros, their defense. I mean, it's not Wentz, it's Heineken.
Taylor Heineke. Close enough, Nicole.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize in advance for every name that I say. And try. And correct me too. I don't mind that.
Oh, poor young Waku. Yeah, no kidding. I guess this is kind of something to be said too. I feel bad for kickers in the rain. I really do.
Though, I mean, so there's been some good, I guess you would say, like kicking games, either in the rain or in the snow and stuff like that, or iconic moments and stuff. But altogether, yes, it does really, really suck for kickers in the rain. Like, yeah.
I mean, that does bring out a good question. And I actually asked a coworker at work today, and like, how far does the snow and like creep down into the States? Because there's indoor. I was thinking this as a soccer player, and I know the World Cup's going on right now, but there's like indoor soccer and outdoor soccer, and there are different like rhythms that attribute to that. And with that being a home field, is there a more home advantage to the people that are at, that play in an outside stadium all the time as a home comparatively to the visitors, just like the Avalanche with the altitude?
You're not wrong, actually. So speaking from experience, I've played soccer my whole entire life. I believe 17 years. And the one thing that I can say, like, and I guess it kind of does relate to it, is depending on like an indoor soccer field and how you play, there's different bounce based on how the turf is laid and everything like that. So absolutely, that's 100% a factor into anything. And just like with the fields, right? Like if you looked at, I believe it was one of the punts from Washington, right? They punted it like pretty much to like the 10 5-yard line.
And and it did
how wet it was and it rained. It literally just boop, done. Like it was just there. Didn't stop. Have barely any bounce, right? So no, that's definitely a factor that plays into it for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. So the Saints.
Well. The Saints did come marching in the week before, and I was ready to party on last week with you guys. But unfortunately, it came down to a sad drought. I blame it on playing in the afternoon. Afternoon delight, not so much for us. Because we've been playing in the morning every single time. Like that's the thing is pajamas and Saints, Sunday mornings. This was the first afternoon game. I mean, I hated it. We didn't even get a single point on the board.
Brutal.
And I have to give it out to my coworker, Ed. Shout out to Ed. I hope you're happy with McCaffrey. But yeah.
He's a 49ers fan, I'm assuming.
Yeah. We ran over the LA Rams, though. I just want to point out we had a great game. I had notes. They were listening to us. They listened to our podcast. And then all of a sudden, it's been a roller coaster. It really broke my heart. 4 and 8. 8's my favorite number, and that's how you break my heart.
That's how you do it?
That's how you do it. So, yeah, those are my feelings and intentions. So, yeah, that's what I got.
What was the final score?
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even catch the...
Okay, well, it's 0 from the Saints.
Was it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 0.
Wow.
0-13.
Yikes.
Yeah, they got a punt in the first, and then just one touchdown in the second, and a punt in the third. So, I mean, good job for the defense, though. They didn't completely run us over.
Yeah.
But the offense, I mean, we'll get into a little bit later on, but our rushing yards, they had 96. We had 63. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't like it.
Chalk it up as we'll move on to next week. But there's a lot of talk about, and I'm happy you're on today, Foobs, because I definitely want to pick your brain. Ugh. That Browns and Bucks game. Let me tell you your honest opinion.
I blame the violator of the field. We shouldn't have been playing on it. Doesn't count.
Like how could your team lose on the Christmas Eve of Deshaun Watson? Okay, that's what I want to know.
I love how you say that. Yeah, it basically comes back. So a lot of different Bucks fans have come out and said all the different opinions, and the one opinion I do like, even though I'm not with it, but I like it kind of thing, is the whole get rid of Byron Leftwich at the end of the year because he's the problem. Get rid of Todd Bowles. I'm already done. The fact that he doesn't call the timeout on 4th down, the fact that he basically takes like no accountability. He basically told Buccaneer fans, like, oh, hey, do you like that no risk it, no biscuit type of stuff that we had? Yeah, you like that? It's gone. It's not here anymore. Bruce Arians is retired. It's my way, and we're gonna do it nice and slow and get 19 points a game. I'm so done. I'm so done. And the problem is this is the problem. I kid you not. This is gonna sound so funny. Does the way I sound familiar? Does this sound familiar? This sounds like before Tom Brady came to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and where I just inevitably know every single year is just a throw off year because we're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and we don't know how to do shit anymore. I mean stuff anymore. I forgot what platform I'm on. Apologies to everybody out there on the Let's Talk Football platform. I am not happy with the fact that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are having this type of malfunction when we should be going. When the Rams are having an issue, so many. The Cardinals are having an issue. There's so many bad teams or good teams having issues, and we'll talk about it obviously later on. Our team doesn't even have its first round pick. It's currently sitting number 6 to Philadelphia.
That sucks. That hurts me.
In a quarterback draft like this, Philadelphia is going to sit there with the GM, and he can literally just like text every owner and be like, every single one of you has 8.5 hours to make me the best offer that you possibly can. I'm going to be in this office with a box of cigars and a couple other personnel of this team. The best offer that we get, that's when we get done. And every owner will scramble because it's a quarterback needy draft. So
what's funny about that actually is, it kind of ties into what you were saying too, before we move on to the next topic, is I was reading something because right now currently that the Chicago Bears have the 2nd overall pick. And the big rumor going around is that they're going to trade their 2nd overall pick for a ton of picks.
Yeah.
A ton of picks. Is what I'm hearing right now is the rumor mill. So you never know, honestly. Like,
Nick,
think about
Rosario?
Lila?
Think about it this way. If I believe if the current it's Houston, and then I do believe it's I should just pull it up actually.
I think it is Chicago. I think it's Houston, then Chicago. And then I believe, I don't know the rest of them, but I know the 10th is Houston again. They have the 1st and 10th currently.
So is it the worst you do in the league, the better you get your first pick?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Interesting.
Houston, Chicago, and then Detroit. That's the reason why I was getting confused because I'm like, Detroit's not that bad. So it's Houston, Chicago, Detroit via the LA Rams, Seattle via Denver, and then Carolina, and then of course Philadelphia via New Orleans. So if you just take that 3 right there, Houston gets the pick of the litter of whatever quarterback that they want, which is Bryce Young. Let's just assume he's gone. Goodbye.
That's where he's going.
I could almost guarantee it. It would make sense, especially because they got one of his wide receivers there, all that kind of stuff. Chicago, though, if Chicago doesn't say that Will Anderson is the best thing that's ever come out of college since basically Khalil Mack, or I don't even know, like Ed Reed, like he is a Hall of Famer. Like Will Anderson.
Chris.
What's that?
Chris needs a shower. He's talking about farts or something. I don't know. I feel bad for him.
Will Anderson is a like Hall of Fame talent, basically coming out kind of thing. And Chicago doesn't need a quarterback. So they know that Detroit's sitting there just waiting, like, hey, pick Will Anderson so we actually get another, like, our quarterback, you know what I mean? And we don't have to just be given the 3rd best one, even though there is, say, 3. So that's why Chicago could sit there and be like, Atlanta, what do you want? Or this team, or Carolina, who wants to trade up and get the best other quarterback that's out there kind of thing. So they got a good position right now. Philly's got a good position. But I'm assuming that all 3 best quarterbacks would be gone by 1, 2, and probably 3.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you guys are going to be rooting for the Saints to win so that the Eagles have a better spot.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I'll be honest.
Silver lining.
I know we talk a lot
except
about
for Monday. I'm sorry.
We all talk a lot about the Saints and hating and being the Aints and stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, flat out, and I'm gonna go say this live. I hate the Eagles more than I hate the Saints. I'm telling you that right now. Like,
that's
I have for a very long time.
I hate the Eagles fan base more than I hate the Saints.
Yeah.
And that like, I don't mind the Eagles themselves. Like, the franchise has always been like actually pretty smart in my opinion.
That's what it is for me too. Sorry.
Yeah, but the Eagles fan base just makes it so flippin' difficult, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. Did not know this is the be humble moment.
Yeah,
and us getting placed next to the Eagles in the same sentence.
But here's the thing: is what, tying into that too. It doesn't really matter if especially with what's going on right now, the World Cup, right? Teams can go into it. Like Argentina right now is a team I'm rooting for. It was always Argentina. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I love Canada, but I've always been a huge Argentina fan.
Yep.
And Argentina going into the game, the first game when they played Saudi Arabia, they were about to break like history records of consecutive wins. And nobody thought Saudi Arabia was going to upset Argentina, and they did very easily in their first game and ended their record. That can easily translate to what will happen to the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
I'm not taking anything away from them. They're a very good team.
Yep.
But it takes one game, man. Yep. It takes one game of people showing up, and that's it. Doesn't matter you're 10-1 year or whatever your record is going to be at the end of the year, right? That's one game is all that matters. And hey, you know what? I'll even give kudos to the Bucks. They proved that when they won that last cup. So,
when we won the champion, like every single game that we won when we won the championship 2 years ago was a claw fest. She knows it because we played in the second round. Even the rise of Taylor Heineke happened because of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playoff game. That Packers game, even though we spanked them pretty early and stuff like that, still I was like goosebumping all the way to the fourth quarter because you never know what could happen with Aaron Rodgers. And then, of course, the Super Bowl, where everybody's messaging me in the third period being like, congratulations. And I'm like, shut up. Shit. Do not message me right now. So,
yeah, fair. Yeah. So I guess in our game, when we played Washington, I would say my stud probably it's a tough one because there wasn't a lot that I really liked. Honestly, Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is honestly just balling out. Considering he was a 5th round pick, I don't see another option where he should not be a 1A, 1B kind of scenario for a running back. Cordero Patterson, he is getting a little bit old. I do want to see him stay, obviously, on the team, but his years probably are numbered considering he is, I believe, 31-ish, give or take. I can't exactly remember the age, but running backs typically don't really go too much longer besides that. Typically, their position is usually one of the more short-lived just because of how much they get hit as running backs. So his time will be numbered for sure. So I would like to see whoever we are going to kind of move into that role, pair up with Tyler Algier. And the fact that he is one of our top running backs right now in terms of touchdowns too, I'm liking what he's doing, especially for a 5th round pick. Unfortunately, my duds, though, is going to have to be Arthur Smith. You can only have so many excuses in the book to actually go and say that, okay, Marcus Mariota is our guy. But at the same time, he still is throwing interceptions at crucial moments. And the fact is don't get me wrong, the fan base doesn't necessarily dictate who plays and who isn't playing on the field. But when you have constant sources going at you saying, why aren't you putting in your backup quarterback to see what he's doing? It's kind of making you look like an idiot. So that's my depth for the week.
Who's Mr. Smith?
Arthur Smith is the coach.
Oh.
May I interject with that? Because I did have an actual point that I wanted to bring up about, say, like the Falcons, which kind of leads into, and I'm already going to apologize because it kind of leads into the shot against the Saints.
Yep.
But
I'm here.
So
I'm here for it. Don't worry.
We know that Arthur Smith is still technically a young coach, and like he's been part of the whole. Like we had the conversation that he's kind of rich and stuff like that. But I've also said too that he's good for the players, but he does also fall in line. You know what I mean with like say ownership. I have a weird suspicion that ownership is kind of telling him you're staying with the formula that's in front of you because it's either going to continue to lose. And it looks like we put the best out on the field, so we haven't tanked, obviously.
Yeah.
Or if we win a couple of games and stuff like that, then we obviously say have a quarterback that we can re-sign for one more year, and we don't have to play this quarterback carousel that we have to do this year anyway. Because like I was just saying, you got the big three, and then after that, everybody's got to pick after that, right?
Yeah.
So then what happens is all of a sudden Atlanta's like, oh crap, I wanted Hendon Hooker. I'm just gonna throw a name out there. Then all of a sudden you got to settle for a Jaron Hall with your 15th or 16th overall pick. That's not necessarily something that you want to start falling into when this is a quarterback carousel and one is going to hit, but we don't know if it's going to be a third round pick.
Well, that's where I'm at. No, that's exactly it. That's exactly where I'm at too. Is like, okay, I understand that, you have that tenure with Marcus Mariota and stuff, and sure, like, you've been with him when he was trying to, get to that point where he's the 1A quarterback, like, absolutely. But at the same time, these kinds of drafts don't come often. They have come in the last couple of years more than they usually have, especially with like the Trevor Lawrence draft and then now with this draft. But at the same time, like, there's not many more teams that need those quarterbacks.
Question.
Yeah.
If there is a team that's like, man, we're stacked with quarterbacks, we don't need them. We're looking for that top, tight end or wide receiver. We want that guy. And then it's passed on. Do they get like a side bonus from the other team for saying thank you for passing on it?
Okay, so
draft capital, essentially.
Draft capital, or you might have like a gentleman's type of agreement that'll go on. So like that just would go on between ownership to ownership. So like, say for example, it'd be like two different teams are about to make a trade, and it'd be like, if something goes on in the draft next year, and I know you're going to have this draft capital, could you give me a discount kind of thing? So that's why you might see when it comes to draft time, you'll see certain draft picks after a certain amount of time that'll essentially look like they're getting traded for the same amount of, say, draft capital. But then all of a sudden one will come out of nowhere and be like, oh, it's a steal. Where people don't understand is those GMs or those owners would have already had a handshake being like, instead of you making me pay for a second round pick, make me pay a third round pick instead so that I can keep my second rounder. And then you shake on it. But that doesn't get said in the trade agreement because it doesn't have to be said. Only
it's sealed, locked away.
Exactly. So that's where the whole ownership becomes like, for that stuff, you would want to know what owner kind of is befriends with another owner. That's why, like with the recent stuff that came out about Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones kind of bickering at each other, and the owners meeting kind of shows you that there is a little bit of a divide. But you're not going to see too many trades between the New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys then. So yeah, or they're not going to be in any good graces to be trading, for example, at that point. So.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Absolutely. Sorry. Had to move locations to find a charger. Apparently the port that I was at didn't want to charge my computer, so kind of sucks. But
the other quick point I was going to make about that with regards to like you is obviously you want to be up and high because if, for example, you had a shot at CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, your offense would just look absolutely amazing. But it's also kind of a cool thing and a good thing, as this is an NFC show, that her 6th overall pick probably could have been like a Will Levis or something like that. And thank freaking Christ that there ain't no chance that strong arm Josh Allen dude is going to put on that damn Saints uniform. I'm so sorry, Nicole, to say that, but like, no, you do not get the Josh Allen. You do not get to sit there and just produce a Josh Allen in the NFC South. No effing thank you.
Yeah, I don't want any part of that.
No part of that at all.
Allen is okay. This is interesting. I got to learn about this.
So the Will Levis is the one that I'm talking about. But if he basically what he's projected to be is play like the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's supposed to be an absolute stud. And the thing is, too, is even right now with what happened with Michigan and Ohio State, is now because of everything, like people they're going to kind of sleep more on CJ Stroud, and he's going to fall a bit.
Man, and teams would be dumb.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. They will be, but that's what's going to happen. And now JJ McCarthy's like capital is gonna go way up. Oh my god, we want JJ McCarthy because of what he's doing in Michigan. It's
Do not get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I still think like CJ Stroud, in my opinion, is he's kind of like the Trey Lance. He's the new style of quarterback that you want, where he is proper accuracy all across the board and just has that little bit extra ability to be mobile. He's not a mobile quarterback, but if you need him like Aaron Rodgers has done and Patrick Mahomes has done kind of thing to be that, that's what he could be. CJ Stroud at his high point could essentially be Patrick Mahomes, but I see that more being the USC kid, but he doesn't come out for another 2 years there. Yeah. And Bryce Young is essentially just Kyler Murray, but more polished. So that go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say he's probably, again, I have my own viewpoints, and I'm sorry for all the Alabama fans here. I have my own viewpoints on Alabama quarterbacks, even though this year I'm going to say is an oddity of a year for Alabama quarterbacks. But honestly, I think, in my opinion, that Bryce Young is the best that I've seen come out of all Alabama in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. That's what I will say. And any one of the, like, if I could get all three of those quarterbacks this year in the NFC South, I wouldn't care which one necessarily goes to the Saints or the Falcons, but it's not going to happen. So no other team can have any of those quarterbacks. I'm sorry.
Fair. Mm-hmm. So studs and duds, what do you guys got?
Go ahead, Nicole.
Well, this is kind of based off of last week because 2 weeks before week 11, week 12, was a dream and I don't respond to that. But I want to say Cam Jordan for coming back after being injured. No one shared some light on this, but he did miss his first career game during regular season versus the Chargers. And that was 12 years. And it was known as the Iron Man streak.
Oh, my God.
He is my mythic legend, and he is an awesome, great player in the defense. And also, too, it was because against the Steelers game that he got poked in the eye. There is some...
Sid, are you in the comment section right now? Is that what the Steelers are doing? Is they're angry? Is they're poking people's eyes out? I want to know.
Just saying, I will not forget. And you ruined Cam Jordan's Iron Man streak, so you're on the list, buddy.
That's okay. We play the Steelers this week, so we'll talk about that after. There'll be no eye poking in that game.
So now he has a visor on, but he came back. So it was just one game. The only other game was, I think it was postseason in 2021 for the COVID list.
Nice.
But pretty healthy man. I do gotta say, like, for 12 years, never missing a game. I feel like that's like Ryan Smith or something.
Yeah. Ryan Smith, Jesus, I love it. Yeah, that's fair.
Did she just throw out? Did she? Yeah, I was gonna say, did she just throw out hockey?
Yep.
And it's funny because I literally just was talking to Chris like about him having like a hockey show. And I'm like, I'm gonna hire you and Kyle. Like, I'm gonna get the two.
Man, I would love to. I'm missing this right now to watch hockey.
Dude, and it's listen, I even said, I was like, I don't know if I want to like get you guys to do it just for like the second half of the season and then just start you guys running in playoffs. I was like, but you guys talking hockey, Nicole would start popping in there too and stuff like that. Like the fandom that you guys would get for Oilers fans around here would be absolutely incredible. So
I know Vanessa would be much more appreciated of hockey than football I talk about. So
well, yeah, well, actually, honestly, like not to diverse or anything, but hockey's not that great for me this year. I don't know about you, but our team is on a good run right now, but that's it. We're not no Red Wings.
Red Wings are coming.
I used to be a big hockey fan, but as soon as I found out about the NFL, it kind of stole my heart.
That's how it was for me too.
Yeah.
I
still have a special spot in my heart though for CFL, but the last couple of years have just been trash. So
it was basketball and baseball for me, with hockey a little bit, but then hockey kind of took over the baseball, I guess you would say, and then it was hockey and basketball, and then football came in, so I replaced basketball for a little bit with the football. and now I'm at those two for a little bit. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when my Supersonics come back, I'm a basketball all over again.
Yeah, no, fair.
My other dud,
yeah,
just to put it on, as I learned about these coordinators, and I'm going to put on Pete Carmichael. He's apparently a coordinator, an offensive one, more like an often lost coordinator.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so he did not call the right places. I mean, the reason why, and you're like, Nicole, where is this coming from? I was like, there was a specific thing that hit my nerve, and I saw a play that they did, and I mentioned it in the podcast about lining all three wide receivers up right behind each other with Taysom Hill in the QB spot. And I believe last time he ran it, this time the play call was for him to throw it, and it was not a good play call. So I see what they were trying to do, but I did see that specific run, and I am picky here. But it's also a learning curve too, because I'm like, who are these coordinators and what do they do? So that's how I felt. Where are the report cards for these gentlemen?
You gotta start handing out report cards. That should be a segment, actually. That's hilarious.
Well, they get off the loose. They get off because it's about, fantasy. And I asked also to the fantasy show, being like, hey, if you could, draft these guys, like how, if there was more like limelight, is there limelight on them as much as players? Because
I mean, for who, sorry?
I don't know, just for offensive.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean,
I would argue they're looked at probably more so than players.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking now.
Because I would actually, I agree. I was one of the people at the beginning of the season that took the Saints to be one of those teams that would more than likely make it to the playoffs in the NFC. That everybody keeps saying it's going to be like, oh, they're a horrible team. Like, what do they have? Blah 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 blah. Sorry, Nicole, I should have stopped there.
Oh.
I'm getting used to it. I'm sorry, but it is right now the whole, like, if you can't put, I mean, it's Jameis Winston, like he can probably win you games. I understand that, but like that whole roster itself, if you can't convince a quarterback to come there and play, and you can't utilize that to get you at least 8 or 9 wins at the end of this season, you are a bad head coach and a bad coordinator, because the Saints are a damn good roster. And it pains me every week to say that when we do this show, but it's true. And we have to admit it when it becomes a thing, because the offensive line, absolutely fantastic. Drafts a dude who literally got into football so he could legally assault people. That is a thing. That is a stat. That is exactly what I want. But from an offensive lineman, that dude is 330 pounds. No effing thank you. They have dogs on that team, offense and defense. So Dennis Allen, bad coordinator, bad head coach. Carmichael, very bad. The defensive coordinator, I don't think is doing too bad necessarily. That's just personally me.
But they're probably going to clean house because 2 of them are bad.
I think so too.
How many? Here's the problem though. How many teams are actually considering going like 1 and out with either head coaches or quarterbacks? And then if they go and do that this year, like say we do it with Todd Bowles or they do it with Dennis Allen, do all of a sudden we just stop this narrative that the Cardinals are a bad team because they do it, because they did it first and they're actually not doing that bad?
Yeah.
So like, are some of these other guys going to start following suit?
I don't see why not. Like, you look at what's going on even right now. Like, sure, like Jeff Saturday with the Colts is stepping in. But honestly, it kind of looks like a joke. Like, I don't think he's going to keep his job personally. Like, I think he's a temporary fit-in right now. But, like, you start looking at all these teams that have talented players. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Kyler Murray, sure, like, the Cardinals aren't having the best season, but he's a very talented quarterback. Like, he was the number 1 overall pick, right? So, at the same time, like, a lot of these teams have this talent. But why are teams with less talent being more successful then? Obviously, coaching. Obviously, offensive coordinating that's done a little bit at a higher level. And it kind of translates to the misnomer that college coaches can just step in and go into the NFL. It doesn't necessarily work that way. It's a different dynamic. It's a different game.
Here's a good way to put it, and this may be me taking a little bit of a humble brag here, and I am sorry, but both of you worked with me before.
Yep.
You could even put Alex in here, and he would probably say this too. How many people came down to Team Gold at the beginning of a shift just to watch me get 125 people going, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That would be some fun times when we did do that. That's in football. That's a player's coach. And then you have guys like, say, what the Lions dealt with Matt Patricia there before, who's more of a, this is my team, and the other coaches, I guess, around, right? And then you have other guys who are like, I play for the owner. I'll literally throw my defensive coordinator under the bridge and all that kind of stuff, right? That you see it with the Giants right now. Brian Daboll is a player's coach, but also understands like his players or his coordinators and stuff like that. So he's a mixture of both. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's Canadian. And then the guy in Minnesota comes from the product of Sean McVay, who has also been a little bit of that hybrid of like, I'm for my players, but I'm also for all about building this culture for the team and stuff like that. So as long as some of these guys start fitting into those type of molds and getting away from like the draconian mindset of like, these guys play for me because they have millions of dollars. It's like, yeah, but at the same time too, now you got a bunch of kids who are given millions of dollars in college and stuff like that. Anyway, you need to keep them entertained and stuff like that with like legacies and the teams that they actually play for. Like there ain't no legacy for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're playing to create one. Right.
Yep.
Same thing for the Texans. Patriots is different. Like all these teams have these other different issues and stuff like that. But you see the players who are actually starting to do good, and you see these teams that are starting to do really good. And it's usually because of the coaches. So shout out to the Giants, shout out to the Vikings, because we know why, and even the Eagles. Like we know why that success is happening. Players, coaches.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. You nailed it right on the head with that. What were your studs and duds though in the Browns game?
Okay, stud, Rashad White.
Okay.
Can we just cut Leonard Fournette's contract now?
Wow.
I listen, if we're not making the playoffs, I want him cut in the offseason, and the only reason is because he's a liability. Because he's going to be unhealthy for 2 years, and that's basically $22 million thrown away. I'd rather have that in cap space to start paying other players. Rashad White showed that he could be the lead back. I'll eat my words on that from what I said on the Maple Buck show at the beginning of the season, where I didn't necessarily see it happening, but the signs were there. So now just go get a pass catching back in the draft. Like, I mean, if Bijan Robinson falls to 15, listen, you want to have a dual threat?
Man. He's right by us right now. I'm just saying.
I'm all for it. I've said it for how long now? Like a year now, dude. I'm like, if Bijan goes to the Falcons, I will buy a damn jersey because my goodness gracious,
he said it. That needs to be clipped.
If Bijan Robinson goes to the Falcons, I will buy a Falcons Bijan Robinson jersey because that offense I would want to coach that team. Are you kidding me?
Good.
Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, and then in a year I get the choice of my own quarterback.
I could see it because of Derrick Henry, and I think that's what they might go. I have a feeling potentially, but
that Jahmyr Gibbs dude, the new Derrick Henry, the one from Alabama, that other guy. Listen, Bijan Robinson, I would buy the jersey. Jahmyr Gibbs, I would still be upset about because that's a damn good running back, but I ain't buying that jersey. I buy Bijan Robinson jersey all the way through. He goes to any one of your teams. Like if the Saints all of a sudden cut Kamara and they're like, man, we're going to just say screw it, and Bijan Robinson falls to the second round, which would also piss me off, and we're going to go take him and be like, oh, fudge. Fair. Or if the Panthers at 6 or 5 are like, oh, we're taking a running back. It's like, again.
You still might be humble because I was going to say Rashad White because of how well he's been doing.
Like, I'm so happy with him. I really like him.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's doing really good. He's consistent, and that's the one.
He's a running back?
Yeah.
Mm.
He's our rookie running back that we got. Hello, Jason. And also Ben, I saw you in there, and Chris and everybody. Nick as well. I like him, but I was also, like I said, on my own shows, I was kind of like, I don't know about him. We can go get Bijan Robinson like next year, and it'd probably be a lot better, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm like, if we go get Bijan Robinson, it's just to create one of the stupidest looking offenses of all time because Rachaad White can 20 carries. And now the other side of it too is you don't have to necessarily go in the first round or even second round to get these guys because Rachaad was a third round guy. Damon Pierce, for the Houston Texans, fourth round pick. What were you saying earlier about your running back who came from the 5th round? We're also talking San Francisco before they traded for CMC, used a 6th round pick in Elijah Moore. And then I'm pretty sure Jeff Wilson was a 7th round pick and Eno Benjamin. All these other names that we hear are just guys that fall. And that's why us as dynasty, we're dynasty fans and stuff like that for fantasy football. So we kind of know about these guys for our taxi squads and stuff like that. But honestly, no one necessarily has to go into the first round anymore and get these guys unless it's like a Bijan Robinson, because you're not just getting a running back, you're getting a slot receiver, a kick returner, a 25 carry, a Swiss Army knife. I missed that term. You know who was the best Swiss Army knife? Isaiah Spiller.
Yeah.
That guy was so much fun to watch for the Saints back in the day with Drew Brees. You're like,
Spiller.
Michael Clayton and all those other guys and stuff like that are carbon. Just dump it off to Isaiah Spiller and watch that guy. That guy was so much fun. Him and Darren Sproles. Those are the two guys. When they had both of those guys,
I have it. That's my jersey. Is a Sproles.
Sproles was awesome too.
Yeah.
No. The first guy I was talking about there. I just had a brain fart.
Is there a Spiller?
Yeah. Spiller was great.
Yeah, he was. He was honestly really good for sure.
My dud. It's Todd Bowles. Fire him now. I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done with Todd Bowles. I'm done with this. It's literally, again, it kind of goes back to when we were working. What happened to Team Gold when it was given to the other? All right, everybody, let's just have ourselves a really nice day and hope that we hit our numbers. And
oh God, there's no emotion, eh?
There's no emotion. No emotion whatsoever. I don't even know, and then I saw a picture of him. He's one of those coaches where, you kind of think that he's a certain size, and then all of a sudden you see, the bottom end of him, and it goes like this. It's like, damn, Todd Bowles, you're getting way too comfortable in your position.
He's always on the sideline, and he's like,
and he rolls his eyes, and I get so mad. I understand when coaches roll their eyes and stuff like that, but he does it so much that if it was a head coach, it would piss me off. Where it's just what are you doing?
Tom's got this. Don't worry about it.
I know. Done.
It's fine. No, it's good. It's good. We can run it. It's good. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Todd Bowles. I want Todd.
I'm gonna look up this Todd Bowles man.
I just don't want Todd Bowles anymore.
Yeah,
I'll take Sean Payton.
Yeah, is that your be humble, is Sean Payton?
No. So my be humble actually goes to the Carolina Panthers. This week, because we do have to show the other guys love. Listen. Yes. They may be. Yeah, they may actually be in the top 5 for draft pick. They're actually sitting at number 5, at 4 and 8. But also at the same time too, just to let everybody know, number 5 is 4 and 8. Also, number 14 is 4, 7 and 1. So take it as how you will here, I guess, with that pick. Carolina, even though they've traded everybody and they're actually going for real draft capital, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. They know for a fact that their owner's rich, and they're like, guess what? You can go buy a quarterback then, you piece of crap. We're playing for Chris Phillips, I think is his name, the coach that they got in right now, or whatever the guy's name is. They're playing for him. He's more like a coach's coach, or like a player's coach. And he'd probably telling the same thing. We don't care. Go for the win. I don't care about the draft pick necessarily. Kind of like the Raiders last year with this Biat. I can't remember that guy's name. The Italian guy that everybody was like, make him the head coach. And then they went the completely wrong way. So, yeah. I just fire Todd Bowles, please. I'm done.
Okay. Noted. Nope. Put it on the Christmas list. Okay, Nicole?
Where are we going?
Be humble.
Oh, I'm humble.
You're humble, Nicole?
Yeah, actually, I'm so humble that I decided to pick on the Atlanta Falcons, and I went onto their little website there, and I clicked on kind of like the not players section, and I found this guy named Terry Fortnott.
Yeah. Where does he come? Sorry. I thought this is be humble for the opposing NFC team. I want to.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. All right. Go on.
Okay. So Terry Fortnott is the general manager, the GM of the Falcons.
Yep.
19th on January 21st was named the GM of Atlanta, and he was the first Black general manager in Falcons history. He started off as a marketing intern. So he joined the Falcons. He spent the last 18 seasons as a member of the New Orleans Saints organization.
Oh,
and like what I liked was that he actually went to NFL school. It's like a special school where they take people and they train them for everything that's needed to become in the board members and the general manager and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I'm glad that he's on your guys' side.
He's awesome.
There was actually he was like an agent. He's looked at and gotten people underneath his wing that have went to a lot of these not the Hawaii Bowl, but the Pro Bowl.
I'm bad at that.
Yeah, he's
all the bowls and stuff.
He's had a hand in signing some pretty major players and stuff. So like having him actually gone to you guys, I feel like you're taking care of him, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's one of your GM. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, he's phenomenal. He single-handedly, I give him all the credit for turning our cap space situation around. It's actually phenomenal. Oh, Hula Bowl is what they used to call it, as it used to be in Hawaii.
Bowl, yes.
There we go. Thank you, Mr. Handy. Appreciate you dropping in, obviously. So this next one, we're getting close to the end of the season now. So I'm not necessarily looking for what you guys are going to think that, what the ending records are necessarily going to be. I want just rank. So Nicole, ladies first. I want you to give me the first, second, third, and fourth place team in the NFC South.
Oh. First, second, and third?
And fourth. Rank. See
rank
how
us.
It finishes week 17.
Oh, goodness. So that's how many weeks there are, hey?
Yep.
Okay.
18.
Well, 18, but 17 you play.
Yeah.
Not 52? No, I'm kidding.
No.
Okay, I got this. I think we're all going for number one. We have to put our own team. Is that what you guys are all doing? We're all picking our team first?
Wow.
No? Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Falcons. There you go. Handy and Kyle. Falcons. And then I'm going to do the nope, not Panthers. I want to say myself it is the Saints, but okay, I'm going to be honest here. I'm sorry, Andrew. I love you, and you guys are going to be taking a third, and it's not last. The Panthers are. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. Would you rather? I'm sorry.
No, I'd rather you lie to me. It's all good. No, I'm just kidding.
So, actually, okay, I do think, and I'm not just trying to be biased, I do think Falcons finish by, I'm going to call it a nose hair. I want to use a different term. By a nose hair in the final game. So, I'm going to go, actually, and I'm sorry, Nicole, I'm going... I just got a feeling it's going to be Falcons, Bucks, Panthers, Saints.
I'm writing this down.
That's fine. That's what I'm going with. I think, honestly, I'll even say to this, I could see the Bucs doing it too. I have no issue saying that because, honestly, their quarterback is a lot better than ours. I'm going to be completely frank about that. But I think it's going to come down to the last game. It's going to be Atlanta versus Tampa Bay. And I think that'll be the decider, personally. I think that'll be the game.
Is that the last game of the season?
That's the last game of the season. Right?
I'm going to take it from you. I'm going to take it from you.
Realistically, the only things that I see changing from my prediction is either the Bucs turn first and the Falcons turn second. But that's where I think it's going to be.
I'm okay. So, unbiased, but, I'm going to take the GOAT over, a Mariota or an Andy Dalton, just unbiased here. But that also being said, I would probably disappear until next football season if on the last game of the season it was between the Bucs and the Falcons and we lost. I'd probably deactivate my account. NSD would be taking a hiatus.
I'd have chirping rights for a good few months.
I'd be gone. I'd literally just turn it over to the guys I just hired at NSD and be like, "It's all yours for a year. I'm gone. Bye. Figure it out. Keep it afloat. It's all I care about. Goodbye."
That's fair. So what's your prediction though?
I do think Bucs would probably finish first. The Bucs will be, if the Bucs are 9-8, the Bucs have to beat you guys in the last game of the season. And I do think that the Falcons could finish 8-9. Both would be going into that last game 8-8. I can definitely see that. And then after that, it would be the Saints and then the Panthers. The Saints have got to win a couple of these games. There's too much talent on that team.
Yeah, I agree.
For them, eventually they'll start playing and be like, do we want to give Philadelphia just another fucking opportunity to be a dumb franchise? And they'd be like, You know what? No, let's just win the last 2 games and then go them from I don't know, the 6th or 7th overall pick to the 13th or 14th.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
We do play them.
Look at this guy in the comments section.
I know, right?
I fucking love this guy. Flipping love this guy. Apologies.
Better than. Oh my God.
He's
hungry.
Said that.
He's not himself when he's hungry. Just, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Warishchuk is really struggling right now. So honestly, I know he really needs a friend. So everybody that's listening, just please send him a really heartfelt message, because he's really struggling with this move right now, and he's not himself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, he's not himself. Please look out for your friends, please.
I did joke though on the show, and I did say, I'm watch, I'll take 1 week off, and I'm hey, you Alex, Chris, and Sid go do a show for me kind of thing. And I'll come back and the show will have 120,000 views. The page will be up to 2.2K followers and stuff. And I'll be what the hell? And then all of a sudden in the group chat, it'll be hey, Andrew, can you pop up on live or on StreamYard in the back? And we just want to have a quick little discussion, a little group chat. They'll be we're gonna move on without you, kind of thing. We've realized that you've been the problem with NSD this whole time. I'll be screw you guys, I made this. Nuh-uh.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, I love the faith you have in me. Now for our favorite segment, Discoveries. All right, Nicole. So you said that you had a video to show. Would you like me to show it?
Roger.
Okay, Roger. Let's see if I still remember how to do this. Yes, I do. Okay. There we go.
You know that's too long for me. Andy Dalton, a.k.a. Red Rifle, a.k.a. Double Aura, which means it's hella luxurious. Put the boy nothing wrong. Oh, he's pussy. Oh my God, he's a bully. Yeah, he's stupid. Oh. Now we stupid. All right, can I invest in some glasses for some people? Y'all got a fund for that? Ladies, not a bribe. I just want you guys to be able to see clearly. All right. That's it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Let's Talk Football does not own the rights to any of the music that may have been played
That
on the
is
show.
correct. We do not own any of those rights. So
just in case.
No. But it is to do with basically getting mic'd up.
Nice.
So I thought it was kind of cool, and I kind of got curious about it and being like, hey, well, like, when are we allowed to hear them actually, give that opportunity to see exactly what they say? And I guess some things they are mic'd up, but will never be aired for what they say. So I found out after much experimentation during the Expedition Games, the NFL officials decided to put microphone in the back of the pads of 2 players of each team, either the first and second string centers of both starting guards. So the NFL film engineers at the game turn on the mic when the offense breaks the huddle, and then when they shut it off when the ball is snapped, the audio is transmitted to the TV track, where the networks mixes it with the crowd noise. The NFL films are also records plenty of additional audio during the games. Those microphones are on other players and on the sidelines, which is repackaged for various shows that are aired after and later on. When it first started, it was a little bit worrisome because they were worried about giving away their secrets of what, Omaha, and all of that. But it turned out that it wasn't that bad. They're mic'd up during the game, but the audio is only made available to the broadcast networks and the NFL films, which then they give in time to edit out anything that might be finding offensive and pick and choose what audio makes it to the broadcast. So
love it, Nicole.
Yeah, that is their audio. Get mic'd up.
Well, I just figured out how to make you the solo screen person too. So learning moments in discoveries as well. Mine actually, funny enough, it has nothing to do with football. I'm going to be honest, I'm slacking, but I did find a fun fact that I think is pretty awesome considering. So with the FIFA World Cup going on, and it's obviously the biggest tournament in the world, like hands down. An African team has never won it.
Nope.
Oh wow.
Nope.
Yeah. So there's a lot of teams that have come close. Like Ghana has come close.
I was going to say
I believe
Ghana.
Senegal has also come close.
Cameroon
has also come close.
Yep.
But yeah, an African team has never actually won the World Cup, which is pretty shocking to me a little bit. So I do know that some teams are looking really good right now. Like Morocco has a very good chance. Ghana also has a chance as well. I don't think Cameroon is going to advance, unfortunately. But there is, especially with how the World Cup is going, it's crazy to see a stat like that. And so we'll have to see. But I found that very fascinating. So it kind of shocked me a bit.
I'm starting to learn a little bit from a Netflix show about the FIFA. And I kind of knew it, but it's refreshed in my mind as I'm older. I've never watched it at this age before. So this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I guess we all haven't.
I've always followed the World Cup. It like consumes me when it's on. It really does. Like everybody at work even follows it. Like it's the biggest thing.
I'm Team Germany usually. But this year I decided to I'm not saying hop on the Canada train, but I was like, I'm going to dedicate everything to Canada this year, just in case this is our first and only time in my lifetime that we actually get to go, So, but no, I cried tears of joy for the Germans when they beat Brazil 7-1. And it was kind of like, oh my God, we did it. We're going to the finals. Like we're going to do it. And then I cried even louder when we won because it was the first time Germany won as like a whole nation without a divide.
That was against my team too. It was against Argentina.
Yes, it was.
Because I was going against Argentina. I was like, oh my God, it's their year. They're going to do it. And then Germany just slapped us.
Bree, do you guys remember in Edmonton when they hosted the women's FIFA Under-19 World Cup?
I was not here for that, but I do remember highlights of it, yes.
I went to it. That was phenomenal. It was amazing.
Cool.
I'm so mad that I missed the soccer game in the snow. That would have been so much
wicked.
fun.
There was nothing like it, Foobs. Honestly, it's an atmosphere that I can't even describe to you. I've been to an NFL game, destroys it. Doesn't even come close.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't even describe to you the atmosphere of that stadium. it is something I will never be able to put into words to you.
It's one of those things where like you'd have to go to college football to get even close to anything like that. Yeah, college football is really because it's like you're almost like a living organism. Like the whole entire crowd literally adjusts its volume and emotion to what is happening on this tiny little field. And it can be seen from air sometimes. Like, it's just absolutely insane.
Oh, 100%. 100%. What's your discovery for this week, Boobs? What are you going to teach us?
I didn't necessarily come, like, prepared for discoveries.
Give us a fun fact, then, of the day.
But I was going to say, just for, I don't know if anybody actually ever knew this, but because I've kind of been writing a few articles, and I've retouched the whole Canada ever getting an NFL team, which wouldn't happen unless our economy does better, blah, 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 blah. But there was a time where actually we did have a team. There was an opportunity for us to have a team. There was actually a lot of talk that Bon Jovi was back in the day around when the Bills had just finished their little 4-year Super Bowl go to and lose streak. He actually wanted to bring that team to Toronto. And there was an actual opportunity before the NFL and some money came in. And the fact that they didn't like the fact that, players would be getting paid Canadian money and just all that kind of stuff back in the day, which wouldn't necessarily mean too much nowadays. But yeah, the Buffalo Bills were almost at one point, maybe not more than 50%, but there was a good push that they were going to be called the Toronto Bills, and there was almost a Canadian team here. So
I love it. I remember that. That's crazy. The more you know with discoveries. But now this week has come and gone. We've all had some upsetting losses this week. So let's talk about next week. I guess I'll kick it off this time. I know that the Steelers are playing the Falcons. The Falcons desperately need the win. Now, the thing is with the Steelers is the Steelers are an amazing franchise, and there's nothing to be taken away from them for sure. They definitely have some rapport, and this very likely could be their first losing season in a very, very long time. With all things considered, I do think that the Falcons are going to bounce back. They're going to win. It's not going to be anything beautiful. It's probably going to be pretty ugly. I'm going to go with a score probably of, I don't know. This is tough. Maybe 17 and 17-14. I'm going probably something like that. It won't be too high scoring. It's going to be ugly, and the Falcons will clinch it off somehow. That's what I'm going with.
Ooh.
Nicole?
Well, I do have to apologize here. I accidentally said last night that I thought that we were playing on Sunday night in the prime time, but we are not. We are playing on Monday, and we are playing against one of my greatest, bestest buddies ever that I've worked with that is also a co-host here. Andrew. We are going against you, my friend.
Oh, God.
I know.
And it's Monday.
Yep.
So
I hope you lose.
I hope you lose too. Do we want to put some salt and sugar on this?
I'll never wear a Saints jersey, so no.
I was just going for we have to toss salt over our shoulder for the loser. No,
well, Andrew had my only loss in fantasy last week, which sucked because I would have been 3 for 3. I've actually been on a kick in a few leagues now, but yeah, it sucks. Anyways,
I think we have a great chance of winning.
So I was gonna say for our league. Shout out to Nicole for having basically the 3rd overall pick in the draft coming up because she just basically got it and was just like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm gonna take some time here and I'm not doing no trades. Yeah, I would because the other thing I was also shout out to Robert who is messaging me being like, I'm not giving up this effing trophy, dude. I'm gonna win this. And Chris in the comment section, honestly. if you go back, because you can in that app, I can't remember how exactly, but you can go back and you can kind of see everybody's standings like week by week.
Yeah.
And you can see, I think it was week 3 or week 4 is when that trophy picture came in the group chat. And you just see all the trades and all the other people start like trying and stuff. And I'm like, yep, everybody wants the damn trophy now.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think we're gonna win.
You're gonna win? What do you think, Boobs?
What's
the score?
It's
Go ahead, Nicole.
8-18.
Okay.
Hoping for us though. that's a very cheeky brain though.
So like an 8-point score, a 7-point score,
Listen,
and a field
you
goal?
got head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You know what we don't got? Abdomen, eyes, calf, tricep, knees.
I like that. 24-20 for the Bucks. But honestly, even for like betting wise or anything like that, I'm not touching a single damn thing about this game because I've watched it go 9-0 one time, and I've also watched it go 45-42. So I'm nope, I'm not touching this game at all. I just hope we win. May the best team win, and it's going to be the Bucks.
I just hope at the end of the year someone reaches a 0.5.
Yeah, it'll be that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But oh god, on to next week. But ladies and gentlemen, we ran a little bit long. I do appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will be back next week. I promise you, we won't have any more breaks. So thank you for tuning in, and I just want to say I hope everybody has a great night.
Yeah, see you too.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.